Well, it's nice to meet you, Giorgos, and I'm very happy that you're willing to talk to me.
Yes, of course, I'm very happy too, and I am happy to meeting you, and it's a great opportunity to talk about uh, anything you like.
Okay. Yes, well, I'm as you know, I've been photographing all the artists here in Vienna, and of course this made me very interested, and also I wanted to raise awareness that the artists are at home, and the difficulties that you face, you know, and the things that you go through. So that's one of the reasons that I thought maybe this way also, not just with the pictures, but this way I could also, you know, give you a voice to say, to express these things.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
So, uh, if I may ask, where are you at the moment? You are in lockdown at the moment.
Yes, of course, I am in lockdown.
Mm.
I am in my home
Yeah.
in Athens, Greece, and I live here,
Mm.
and we have lockdown. It is a continuously, I can say, lockdown from the early November
Mm.
with breaks. You know, some aspects of economy, like some shops are open for some about 1 or 2 weeks and then closed again. All the horeca industry, restaurants, bars or cafes or anything are closed. This some periods for some days open and close, some shops, and that's all.
Mm. Did your lockdown start in also in March 2020, or also in that time?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We had down last 1 year ago, we can say, last March, and this was a small lockdown. It
Yeah.
was about 4 weeks, something like that, or
Yeah.
no. But then it stopped and everything open again, opened again, and also the everything I can say for during all the summer.
Mm.
As I said about early November, when the government decided to take measures again and
Yeah.
have down.
So you had that first lockdown when you had only 4 weeks. Um, did you just think, well, I'll just take it easy and wait for it to pass?
Yes, and during the first lockdown, it was for me personally. Uh, it was something um, very unexpected, but
Yeah.
it was logical because it was a new virus, which was which looked like very dangerous, and it was logical for the governments and the systems to take up some measures in order to prepare for for a pandemic, and to prepare the hospital, the health sector generally, and it was quite logical. So I think everyone, not only me, but the majority of people were very patient during the lockdown. Thought that it was a logical measure.
And did you have many things, many concerts and things that you had to cancel then?
Well, I had some actual concerts, but I was looking for some postgraduate, postmaster programs of study, and there will be some programmed auditions, and I have to travel around Europe. The programs were for some academies that they are abroad, and it was very difficult for the people to travel. And these things just canceled and replaced the auditions with videos and from which is not actually the same. It was some things for concerts, not on March or something, but for some festivals or things that happen during the summer, but nothing from this done, because as I said, we have opened everything again.
Oh, okay,
normality during the summer. But it was very strict restrictions about the concerts, the theaters, and all this. So it was very difficult for the people to organize some festivals to any kind of art, of course, in music, but also theater or dancing or anything, because these things are based on the people who will join them and pay their ticket, and they will have a budget in order to fulfill these things, these concerts. Also, I was searching for job positions through orchestras, because I am not actually in a permanent job position, and I am interested for this. And this was a problem, but not during the summer, because during the summer these things are somehow a little bit stopped. But in the autumn, from September and on, there were a lot of job openings that it was very difficult for us, the musicians, to join the auditions and participate to them. And many of them, I can say about half of them, have been cancelled. The other half have been done under strict measures, or the orchestras trying to pick people from within the country, not internationally or around Europe. So this was also a big difficulty, and we can say to the second wave of the lockdowns and the pandemic around September and not October, November, and August.
So that was the difficult thing for you, that you couldn't. I mean, you couldn't leave the country. Sorry, is the sound all right on your side?
Sorry?
Is the sound? Can you hear me good? Okay. Yeah, maybe if you come a little closer, then that's good. What I was going to say is, so that was the difficulty. You could do little concerts in Greece. Was that possible? but you couldn't go outside.
Both of them were not possible.
Oh, okay.
First of all, in Greece, from last March, I can say all the concerts have been cancelled or took place through internet. I mean,
Yeah.
or live streaming and all this.
Mm.
Now, I can travel. It's not prohibited if you have a reason for a job or something, but the problem is that the opportunities have become less
Of
than
course.
the norm.
Yeah.
The culture all of the organization stopped to announce job positions or auditions, and so there are fewer opportunities.
Yeah. So how is it? How does your government support the freelance artists? Because the artists that are involved in orchestras, I mean, do they also get still paid, or do they also have a problem?
As far as I know, they get their salary normally, and that it's very good. Also, because I have colleagues here and abroad, they also make some concerts, as I said, like video concerts or live streaming concerts. So they are involved in the field. They are going to their rehearsals, but they don't have this exposure and this experience when you play live music with the audience. And
yeah.
So for them, it is okay as so far now for their salaries, and they get paid normally. As for the freelancers, there are some measures, for example, by the Greek government, but they are complicated. You have to be in a contract before the lockdown. You will have this help, and the state will support you. If you are in a difficult position and you were unemployment just before, and you can't prove that you have something that stopped it, they don't support here in Greece freelancers. That's the situation.
I've also heard that from other countries that to get this funding, you have to really, it's so complicated to get the funding for some of the artists that they just, it's not always possible. And now that you're saying there as well, there's all these restrictions that before you could get this money. What do you do, for example? Have you been a freelancer for a long time that you could have something left to live from?
Yeah, something like that. I have been in this position for quite a long time. I am. I have my own apartment. I am liking this thing. And, okay, I can support my life so far, but this is not, of course, a solution. I am, as I said before, I am searching for many things and job opportunities. And okay, I tried personally. I tried to take in consideration the positive thing of this situation. Okay, it's a little bit weird because it's not a normal situation. It's hard someone to find positive things, but for a creative person, for an artist, and not only, also for science, but let's speak about my opinion about artists and musicians. It's a very nice period for people to practice, to study, to try to become a creative, to try to become better in their field. And of course, music, and I am violinist. Violinist is, it's a very difficult instrument, a very difficult artistry, and always you have to practice, to try to be better, to you always have a lot of things to do in your repertoire, to a lot of things in a creative way. So this thing, because I am very dedicated to practice and to improvement. I from the beginning I just take this situation in a creative way and in a positive way. So I am doing many things, and I'm practicing every day. It's full of music and working, and this can't make me feel sad or depressed or all this.
Okay, but do you think that now this is interesting what you're saying, because this is also what I hear from many musicians, that they now have the opportunity to play repertoire that they normally don't have time for, or that they that they use this opportunity to their advantage and do exercises and I mean, I don't know what it entails to play the violin, but apparently the finger exercises and technical things. So that's great that you say that you're seeing it this way, that it's that positive that you have this time. Do you think this has also given you a bit of freedom to experiment with your instrument?
Yes, definitely. It's on 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 the on the hand of any musician. Personally, for me, it is most. I I I I do experiments, but what I do more is to expand my repertoire, to make my technique better, to this kind of things.
Yeah.
Not so much in the. I am focused in classical music, so I can't do many experiments in this place. You have to follow some rules, but always there are also things that you can be creative and make some experiments.
Yeah.
And
but how do you how do you stay motivated because normally you used to practicing for a specific thing, so you're practicing for this concert or this specific performance. So how do you keep yourself motivated to keep practicing, but there's no sort of outcome for it?
Yes, I will explain. There, as I said before, there are now happening a lot of things that I am always searching and finding new things that I am interested to apply or to participate in auditions. But they are they're happening through videos, not with a physical performance, but with a video or live something. And some of them also under strict measures, they're happening live. I was last month in France and in Algiers, and there were an audition. It was a live performance. I have done many videos for video auditions, and I'm now prepared for 2 other auditions that will happen with a physical performance here in Athens, since one, and the second will be again in France. And there are projects that are happening. So I have during always some program that I am following, because it's an audition or something about this.
Yeah. So also what I've been thinking about is that you know, even though there is, say, funding available, and some governments you know, they try to help the artists, but that the greatest need for the artists are that they would love to perform, that they would love to have this interaction with the audience again, and that they really need that. And do you agree?
Yes, definitely, I agree. This is the purpose of music. The purpose of music for me personally is to unite the people, not only the musicians together, that they are playing like in a group, an ensemble, or an orchestra, or anything, but also the audience. I think that we, the musicians and the audience, both we miss each other. We miss this interaction and this process of a live concert. It's something for me much more than a gathering and an entertainment. It's a way of many people to feel one and unite together and understand a language different that the languages that we are speaking. The language of music speaks, I think, in a more intelligent way, straight to our hearts, and it's a language that no other language can express these meanings. The problem is that, okay, you can't, anyone can put open and play any video in internet or in his stereo or whatever. But the true miracle of a live concert is the unity of people that are sitting together, and everyone, both plus the musicians, they are participating in this process. It's a unique experience. It is wonderful, and it is very, very important, I think, for all the people. It's very important. Maybe many people unconsciously live this experience, but it doesn't matter. It is a unique experience that gives to people peace and make them feel very good, and make them, even if they do not understand this straightforwardly, more intellectual. And
yeah, do you think that in this time, actually, that we and with this pandemic, that we should actually need this, that we should benefit from this hearing music, and that would make people more positive again, and that it's almost as if we are locked away from all of these experiences, that we might need that at the moment.
I think that at this kind of situation, like this one that we are living right now, it is even more important for the people to live the concert experience, the music experience, the live performance experience, and it will be like, I can say, a medicine or a cure.
Exactly, yeah.
Like we know from the past, not only, of course, the contemporary science have a lot of studies that are shown that the people, the music can heal a lot of things, both in psychological field or in pathology also.
Yeah.
And I think the lockdowns, it is a very, very strict measure that in a way all the people affect. So the people need this healing presence of music, and it is, I think, the most important thing right now. The problem is that what it is important in order to happen a live concert. It is something that for now that we are speaking, the governments and the scientists suggest not to happen. I mean, the gathering of people and all this process. But I think the scientists and the governments and the politicians must find a way soon and take the middle way and find a way, even if the people, sit a little bit far
Yeah.
Distance of 2 or 3 meters or something, or with the use of mask, or a lot of things. But I think that the arts must open again, the music must open again, also the museums must open again, and the galleries and theaters. The art is not a luxury, is
Exactly.
it's
A necessity. Yeah.
good that we all need.
Yeah. I have this idea also that I think that we must start also in the schools to make children aware of art and to teach art in the schools, not just science and maths, but make art a very important subject in the schools, so that children have, first of all, the knowledge, and then also the experience, and then they don't, I mean, they don't necessarily have to become artists, but that they have this experience and um, the insight into what it is, what the art forms are, and how is the schooling in Greece with the arts? How are children educated there?
Yeah, of course, I agree with what you said. Here in Greece, there are lessons uh, during all uh, the periods of the education. There are lessons for the history of art, for painting, or for music lessons generally. But there are also some special schools. I was in one of them. I was in the State Music High School of Athens. So there are expanded lessons. You entered through audition and all this. So you are for 6 years, because it's the high school and the lyceum we said here in Greece, from 13 to 18, for 12 to 18. And there you can educate it like, if you like to become a musician. But I think that the most important is for the general school, not the specials, but general, to insist on lessons which will learn the people, the child, the teenagers or whatever, how to consciously understand the effects of the art on them.
Yes.
And because I'm sure that all the people, they don't need no education if they will hear a piece of, for example, a symphony of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. They will understand how it is for the psychology and everything, and they will feel great. But there I think can build some lessons that will start to learn the young people how to consciously see the effect of any kind of art to their organization. Also, how to appreciate the unity of the art. I mean the result of the art is to unify people, to make people feel one, and to overcome the dualism in our life, and which is something that in many ways separates us and makes conflicts and makes a lot of negative things. So one good weapon to fight against the dualism and the conflicts, it's art happenings and good art that unifies us. Unify us.
If you just see how many musicians get together in an orchestra from different nationalities also, and there's no conflict, and then there's music that's the common ground, and this is so wonderful if you think of it that way, that's possible to do. And also I think children would benefit by studying art also to be able to do other subjects. So the schools, when the governments take away the art in the schools because of the cost, they really neglect this idea that the art is so important also for the development of the children, for the development of the future industries as well. Because these skills that you develop by learning instruments or by doing art, you know, that can be applied also in other aspects of your life. So that's, yeah, so this is what I really feel strongly about, and I have this wish that artists will also start to speak about that, so that you are the ones that understand what art does and how that develops your mindset and your ability to do things. And you are the best people to talk about this and to insist, you know, that children have this experience.
Yes, I agree with this, and I can say that I think the cost benefit of investing in art education will be very good for the politicians if they really understand this. There are a lot of things, as you say, the abilities that you can improve, like the mindset and like the discipline, like the patient.
Yeah.
Start to work, but in a way, in a program, and in a way that you are focused for results. This can make people, even if they don't become a musician, so if they become finally musicians, they will learn them how to a methodology, a method.
Yeah.
Proceed anything that they do, and also how to proceed their personal life. And because a lot of people lack the patience, lack the discipline, lack the a lot of things, that they think that they are something not normal, something forcing, or something that have no sense sometimes. Always there is a meaning in a time set, in a mindset of discipline, and I can say inner peace, inner, and also apart from these things, I think also the involvement of in music and also in other fields of arts make the people less aggressive.
Yes.
Make the people, as I said many times, I think today, make a unit. So the conflicts and the differences can be overcome, and the people can through the music, through the education from the music, can learn ways to find the closest way in order to communicate each other.
Yeah.
From another country or from the same country, whatever. As I said before.
Yeah. No, this I totally agree with you. Did you come from a musical family?
Yes, in a way, I am from a musical family. My parents are musicians, but my grandfather, who was my first mentor at the age of 4, 5 years old, was a music pedagogue and teacher.
Oh, okay.
And from this, I can say that yes, my grandfather was a musician, and kind of way my family is a music.
And when did you realize that you wanted to become a musician? At what age did you get that realization?
I was very. I was in. I was born in a music school. I can say where my grandfather has his students, and every day as I was a tiny child, I was being there and listen people to learn music. There, so I was sure, but I would like to become a musician, but at the age of 18, something, I was disappointed from myself, and I thought that I probably try something else than music.
Really?
So I had a break to my studies and studied at the university here another field for 4 years, and then start working at some jobs, different than music, of course, but this wasn't enough for me, and I quit everything and started again the music environment.
Oh, that's but that's very interesting, because I've also heard somebody else say this, that they make this break, and then there was something in them that just said, no, this is what I have to do. I have to make music. Yeah.
Yeah, it is very challenging. It is very live. Every day, you can full all your time with creativity and practice. There are so many things that you can always improve and you can always find. You can't, if you really like it and you really you are in a high level, every day you can enjoy trying new things or trying to improve new pieces, new concertos or sonatas or anything. So for me, it's the best thing.
Yeah. But now I want to ask you something else. Was there something you did in this time where you had in lockdown that you normally wouldn't have done? Did you start a new hobby, or did you cook a lot or bake a lot or do something? Or what do you do in Athens?
No, I can not a lot of things, but just a few. I started to cook more because I can cook. I can say at all, even not at all. I start enjoying cooking and do some things. And some exercises like a routine like a mini training program every morning. That the last few years, I didn't exercise almost at all. So I started some things, and yeah, that's the
yeah. Well, I know a lot of artists I speak to started cooking or baking or painting or photography or so, something. And it's really interesting what you do, because I think it's also a way of expressing, also a way of being creative.
Yeah, of course. There are a lot of things that you can be creative, not only music or art, and it's very nice to take up something new and enjoy the new creativity and the new challenges of this in a hobby level. Yeah. I am very much involved in the music, so I need a lot of energy every day, a lot of hours, and so unfortunately I can't do a lot of new things, but I can appreciate the creativity and the good feedback from doing things.
Yeah. So I just have one last question for you, and that is, what is your wish for when this is all over?
My wish is to when this is all over, for the people to start again their normal lives in a more peaceful mood, and all this process to all this hard situation to make us a little bit wiser. I really wish the people to to take the advantage of this quarantine and these lockdowns, and learned a little more about themselves. And because when you are alone, we speak a lot about the benefits of gathering people and interactions, but also there are some benefits in staying alone and find a contact with your inner self and personality that it's very difficult in the normal situations with the rhythm of lives and the jobs and the traffic and everything to have this calmness and this stillness and this space, your own space to come in contact with with yourself. This, as many philosophers said about knowing the self. So this is my wish. This difficult situation at least help the people to come in a contact with their self and knew better themselves.
This is wonderful. Yeah, wonderful that you think that way. It's also in this context. Then it would be wonderful also when people can appreciate the arts more, because that has also something to do with our inner healing, you know, and almost soul-touching thing.
Yes, of course. As we said, of course, the arts are helping in this path of knowing better yourself and living in a mindset of peace. And I think that the most important field of artistry in this things are the literature and good books. There are plenty of them from people that work hard, and philosophers and authors, and make masterpieces, some books that anyone can really entertain and reading them, and also find some a way to connect with his inner self and think about beautiful things.
Thank you so much for this lovely conversation, this wonderful insight, and how you see this whole process as, or this whole lockdown situation as very positive as well. Yeah, that's very inspirational. And I hope that your auditions and, you know, the fact that you have to try and do it in a virtual way now that you cannot do it, you know, because I think this is also difficult to do auditions like this, because there's also not that contact. But I wish you all the best for your career, for getting and getting that also that job opportunity that you are looking for.
Thank you.
Do you ever visit Vienna?
No, it was about to come to Vienna 2 times.
Yeah.
Last year, 2020. One was during September, but canceled. And the other was during November, but there I think we have when I was about to close to book the tickets and everything, your government there, the Austrian government, announced your lockdown.
Oh, I
So
see. Okay, yeah.
it was cancelled again.
Oh, okay. So when
I will visit very soon Vienna, because there are things that I need to do there. So these things that cancelled actually just postponed for future when we are all back in the normality.
Yeah. So I hope when you come to Vienna, you will write to me that we could meet for a coffee in real and talk. Not a virtual talk, a real talk.
Of course, it will be my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and have a lovely afternoon. Thank you.
You too.
Okay, bye.